Welcome to the Public Speaking Podcast. It is yet again another episode, and we're so excited to have you here, coming in, listening, watching, and being part of the presentation world. My name is Lucas. I'm a CEO of HeadGain, the online company that focuses on presentation skills. And with me in the studio, as always, I have my favorite coach on planet Earth, the guy that makes me laugh on a daily basis, the guy that is not always politically correct, but I love it. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Alexander Grabnayala.
That's me, communication coach, main coach here at HeadGain. And yeah, thank you so much for that, Lucas. I really appreciate that. I understand. I always do this for the ones who's listening. I always do this to my dear other colleague, David J.P. Phillips, and he hates it. And I now understand how it feels. Was one thing that I was really asking, do I really make you laugh every single day? I thought we were like more pulling the last hairs over your head and just going like, well,
I would say pain and pleasure are present.
Pain and pleasure. All right, people around the world, today we are having another great SpeakerX edition of the Public Speaking Podcast. I love having these talks. They're like getting the insights from so many different people, from so many different aspects, from so many different point of views. And it's just when things are connecting, yeah, it's just, again, I've said it before and I say it again, it's mind blowing. Today, though, before we announce the next speaker who's going to join us into our beautiful virtual studio, I want to say this. You know, Lucas, sometimes when you have that connection with people that you feel like there is something more, that you always go like, oh, that's a brother from another mother. And it kind of went the same way. It wasn't very transparent in the beginning, but slowly and safely when I got to know this guy, it's just like, wow, we have so many things in common, and the way that we think, and the way, so it really blew my mind when I had the chance to listen to his first idea and how he wanted to, what he has developed and what he's discovered, which is a really cool method. But I'm not gonna take away the limelight from you. With that said, a beautiful warm welcome into the podcast studio. We're now welcoming Stuart Wedge.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Lovely to be here.
Well, yeah, it's great to have you here as well, and I can see my frame is frozen for the ones who's listening. That means that I'm having a very good, beautiful facial expression right now of surprise. But leading up to this, before we launch into you telling who you are and what you do, I have this humble thing that we do, and it's called 10 Tough Thoughts. That means that we're doing 10 very tough thoughts. It's going to be very rapid paced, Stuart. So that means that it's for the audience to listen in who you are. It's about the selection, which one you like the most. So I'm just going to rapidly fire some words at you, and you just say which one you appreciate the most. Do you understand? Are you ready?
I think so.
Let's try it. That's good.
If it goes wrong,
All
it goes
right.
wrong.
Let's go into 10 tough thoughts together with your host, Alexander Grabnayala, and the co-host, Lucas Rocherstig, who does nothing in this segment. Fast food or fine dining?
Oh, fine dining.
Water or wine?
Water.
Swimming or walking?
Walking.
Stay at home or travel?
Travel.
Car or motorcycle?
Car.
Off-grid or city?
Off-grid.
Red or blue?
Blue.
Online or face-to-face?
Face-to-face.
Bed or sofa?
Bed.
And the final one for the 10 tough thoughts, summer or winter?
I like both.
But if you lean onto one, which one has it be more of the other than the other?
Summer.
Summer. There we go. Perfect. Thank you so much. This has been 10 Tough Thoughts with your host, Alexander Grabnayala, and the co-host, Lucas Rocherstig, who did nothing in this segment.
As always. And it's so nice of you to include me and not include me. I love that. Appreciate you.
So let's lead into Stuart. Please let us and the audience and the listeners, viewers, who are you? What do you do? What's your profession? Where does it come from?
Thank you very much. So I am a coach, consultant, and a practitioner of information security. I'm a military veteran. I've been a fire performer. I've been a bushcraft and tracking instructor. I've done all sorts of things. But currently I find myself working in information security for a global tech company. And I'm working within the security team there. And I'm currently working on inside of threat management, which is helping protect the data from people within the company who might be leaking it unintentionally. So that's my current job.
Interesting.
But I'm also have my own side business where I've been teaching people policy, how to write policy for the last 5 years. And I'm now moving into friction and helping people to remove friction from their work, which is one of the main reasons we find ourselves together.
I love that. I love that. I love that. All right, Lucas.
Well, I was so amazed when I heard your story, like your backstory, Stuart. You've been through so much. It's military, fire, juggling, right? You have all of these hobbies. Like, have you always just been a discoverable person? You just love throwing yourself into new areas, or what is that?
I recently found out that I was autistic, and I think that's got a massive thing to do with it. I find a subject that interests me, and then I have to go really deep into that subject. And I've been doing that my entire life. And first it was sharks. I adore sharks, and I still do. Jaws is my favorite film. I got a cup that I have at Christmas that's got Santa Jaws on it. I love it. But I've had special things that have interested me for a long time, and fire was one of them. I saw a video of somebody playing with fire, doing fire performing, and I thought, that's really cool. I want to try that. And it wasn't just I want to try that. I want to do that and become really good at it. And I eventually ended up performing all around the UK at different events. And the highlight for me was performing in front of 10,000 people as the single performer on the Acropolis in Edinburgh for Beltane. And that was amazing. That was a massive thing for me. I've also been into bushcraft and survival skills my entire life. I saw a video on TV, Ray Mears, when I was a child. And then I got one of his first survival books and I started learning the skills through that. And then later on in life, I ended up going to an event where the people were doing that at the weekend. And then a guy held up the couple of rabbits and said, who wants to do a demonstration on these for the group? And nobody put up their hand on how to prepare them for food. And I'd actually just watched a video a couple of days before on how to prepare a rabbit for food. I thought, I'm going to do that. So I did. I put my hand and did it. And it was really cool. I did it. I prepared one for everybody and then took somebody else through the process of doing it for themselves as well. So there was 2 rabbits done. And after that, he came up to me later on in that afternoon and says, do you want a job as an instructor? Yeah, all right. So I'll do that for a while.
I'll take it.
I ended up doing a 2-year course for a company called Woodland Ways, which was it was 17 weekends and 4 or 5 day courses throughout 2 years. And when I first went into the woods there, everything was green and I didn't know what anything was. It was just loads of green and brown. And by the maybe 6 or 7 weekends after that, I started just walking in and recognizing things and understanding the different plants and the different trees. And by the end of the 2 years, it was familiar to me. I knew everything. And if I didn't know something, it would stand out like, what's that? Because I've not seen it before. It was that level of familiarity. And that's the sort of thing that I've done my entire life, is just dig into subjects that I really enjoy. And that was one of them.
That sounds like it's really leading into a little bit of what you did with SpeakerX, also understanding with the method that you have created that this is the reason for you, the full in-depth understanding. And if there's something that's out of the ordinary, you kind of observe it instantaneously because that's the way that you've been doing your entire life. That is very fascinating. And that leads into the SpeakerX. What how was that journey from you? How, like, taking the craft from the idea that you have to the standing on stage there in Westeros and delivering it. Can you run us through the process? Also, give the audience a little bit of insights of what is it that you are sharing without giving away too much, maybe.
Certainly. So, SpeakerX was the pinnacle of a 3-year effort for me. And my public speaking was okay. It was not great. I never felt confident doing it. And then I decided that I was going to try and improve it. And I was looking at how to do that. And I found David J.P. Phillips's How to Avoid Death by PowerPoint video. And I really thought that was incredible. The understanding of how to use the slides and the animations to make things flow in a story was very good. And that led me into discovering more about David and who he was and the work that he did. And then I signed up for a 5-day challenge that he did. And that was great. It pushed me out of my comfort zone. I didn't do too much public speaking off the back of that, but it still helped me learn some skills. And then I kept practicing using the skills that I was learning for free off the internet from David and other coaches for about another year. And then I decided, right, now it's time. I'm going to sign up with Presenter Mastery. And I did. And then I went through that entire program for a year. And it was amazing. The skills that I got from that and the knowledge that I got helped me immensely throughout the presentations I was doing at work, and the ability to create a course and make that better, because the public speaking on that was good as well. But it wasn't quite enough for me. And with the business I was creating and this methodology that I was creating, I needed something a bit more to be able to present that in a way that was more impactful and not just me talking to a camera in my bedroom or in my house. And I wanted to stand on stage and actually talk about the subjects, because it meant a lot to me, but I thought it would also help a lot more people as well. And that's when you guys came up with SpeakerX. I thought, that's the right thing for me.
Hi.
And then I signed up. And I didn't really know what to expect, but there was a long lead up to it. There was like 3 months worth of between when I signed up for it and when we actually started doing it. And it was great. 6 weeks of coaching, preparing from just the idea to the delivery. And Alex knows what I'm going to say next, because I've told him this already. SpeakerX was the most significant personal development work that I've done in my entire 30-year career. And that is no mean feat. I've done a lot of stuff from what we've spoken about, and this has been the most significant thing that I've done to help me come out of who I am and help me to deliver my message in a way that is more understandable for people and more impactful. And I'm very grateful for that. So thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you.
Done.
It's,
well done.
Going through 6 weeks together is an emotional journey.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and seeing ideas develop into something very powerful, it's just, I said multiple times during that process, this was changing not just for the participants, but also for us back here. I genuinely felt that the SpeakerX just changed me as a person and made me grow as well. So it's huge.
So I know I didn't actually talk about SpeakerX, but the 6-week process was very good. I had an idea and I was going down one way with it. I was thinking about how we came together as a species and started to talk and used fire and things like that to help us change who we are and as a species. And the fire has been a massive thing for me. So I was going to start using that as the way as the thread that was going to go through the speech. And then going through the background work was the most important thing for me. It was figuring out those 15 questions that you put together and made us answer was incredible. And I actually wrote a whole lot for each of those questions. And I'm sorry for putting you guys through that. But
no worries.
After that, we figured out that the thread that went through my entire career was friction. I've been in the military, I've been a bouncer, and now I'm still working in security now, but we're doing it for global tech companies. And that friction has been the thread that's gone through it. And that was Alex to help me identify that. And we then framed my message to have that as the most important part. And it worked. And it was so impactful that I actually changed the entire position of my business to focus on friction. I was going with stakeholder engagement, but now loads of people talk about stakeholder engagement. Nobody talks about friction. But everyone knows that it's a problem, but nobody actually focuses on it as the problem. So that's what we're doing.
Wow.
It's been good.
Yes. So now when you created the signature talk, how, like, in the industry, I mean, the market that you're now looking into, not only entering, but also the one that you're working with, like you're saying, now you're changing this. Why is it so important for them to kind of grasp this now? Well, you kind of gave a little bit of a tweak to the answer previously, but is there a bigger, why is it important for them to understand what friction really does?
Yeah, sure. So it's even more important now because of AI. And AI is going to do a whole lot of things for my particular industry is security and information security. And everything's done on the computer, or a lot of things are done on the computer. AI is going to take a lot of that away. So a lot of the operational work is going to go to machines. And there's still going to be security work to do. The way security is we enforce configurations and enforce rules and policies. We don't actually do the work to configure things or actually install things. But that's not us. That's the people who own the applications or on the systems or that have those processes. It's their responsibility to make these things secure. We tell them when they're not, and we hope that they will make those changes to make these things work. And if you can't do that, if you can't get them on your side, the business is always going to be insecure. And people talk about communication and influence. Well, that's only part of it. It's how do you frame your message to help that person understand what it is you're actually asking them to do? How do you engage with them to actually hold space for them to understand so that they feel safe and that they don't feel attacked? How do you actually put that into action? And where do you want to go with it? What's the process or progress that you want to make? What's the goal? And that started to click with me. And that's how I ended up coming up with the Congredior Method. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But for everyone else, it's if they can remove friction from their work, it's going to make their work easier, faster, and they're going to achieve their goals quicker. And they're going to get people on their side. They're not going to have arguments at work. They're going to have more support, and it'll be easier. And that's what we want security to be. We don't want it to be hard. We want it to be easy. Mm-hmm. And that's the idea of what I'm trying to do with friction, or removing friction. It's taking it out, making stuff work better.
You're alluding here to a solution, Stuart. I'm hearing you say there's a method to this. So what can you share? Because I understand, look, it's friction is a huge problem. And not if there is friction in your message between you and the receiver of your message, that is an issue. And it will create more issues within the company, within the relationship, within everything in the ecoscope of this conversation. So just take us through a little bit of your talk and how to solve this. What are you thinking?
Yeah. So if you are telling somebody to do something, they're going to push back because people don't like to be told what to do. But if you build a relationship with them, if you understand who they are, what they do, why it's important to the business, and how your job, your work as a security practitioner affects them, then your words are going to hold more weight when you actually go to them and say, "Hi, can we talk about this because I've got a problem, we need to fix it." They're going to listen to you more if you actually built that relationship already, or rather than you saying, "Here's the policy, go and do it." they're going to push back. And the method that I've come up with is called the Congredior Method. And Congredior, it's a Latin word of two parts. The first is con, which means together. And the second is gradior, which means to step or to go. Congredior is to step together. And it means to engage with, I see it as to fighting with somebody, to fighting for them, to help them do their stuff, to work together as a team. And it's not fighting against or pushing against, it's collaborating with and engaging with and helping each other. And that's what the Congredior Method is. It's a way to help people think about this in a systemized way, to actually understand the different things that you can do to help win those people over before you actually go to them with a problem and you need them to help you. It's about building alliances and breaking down silos. And that's what the Congredior Method is.
Oh.
Which one is your favorite?
What do you mean?
Which one of the methods are your favorite one? Which one is that you have an extra glow when you speak about? But like me with if you go with the 110 steps, Lucas, I was like, which one is your favorite? I'm like, oh, it's always 44 or 34. Or, you have one or two darlings that you really are more proud over, that you come up with and want to talk about. So which one is yours? If I can scratch the surface of the Congredior Method.
Okay. I actually love the principles that I'm putting with the method. You got the 4 stages and you've got the 16 different skills. But something I've not spoken about publicly yet much outside of my community is the guide principles. And guide, it means, for each one of them is an acronym. So G stands for goal. What is the actual goal of this specific thing that you need to do? And it can be anything. A message, how an engagement method can be presentation. It can be anything. What is the goal of this specific thing? Why is it important to not just you, this person, but also the business? And think about that as a holistic thing. It's not just what do you want out of it? Why is it important to them? And that's one of the things that we went through with SpeakerX, is why is that important to them? And goal is specific to that. And then U is understand, or understanding. It's understanding their position. What did they do? Why is it important to the business? What are their goals? What are their service level agreements? What are the things that hold them back? What are their problems? How can you help them? That's understanding. And then I is influence. It's not just influence and skills. It's what is the main influences on this person? What are their problems? What are the things that are holding them back? What can you use from your side of things to help them? What those influences, or everything is around influence as a system. Thinking about all those different parts is that part. Then D is direction or decisions. And it's, where do you want to go with this? Why is it important? Which road do you need to take? How do you get there? And what do you need to do to get to that point? And then E is engagement. It's actually go into this person with having thought about all these things first. And then what is the best method to engage with them, and how to frame this message so that you achieve that goal that you want to do, but in a way that is non-manipulative and actually helpful for them people as well. So that's the guide principles.
Nice. I like that.
Really good.
Very good.
Use
Very
the
good.
guide.
Yes. Use the guide. Yeah. Sometimes I love the acronyms, but sometimes it's when it's corporate, it's normally not good. But when it's like this, it is sublimely well. Oh, love it.
It can work for everywhere.
All is good.
It doesn't just have to be for like corporate stuff or work stuff. Yeah. It can be anything, even in your personal life. If you've got something you want to achieve and you need somebody to
guide you,
to help you on that journey, you need to ask them to help. And this is a way that you can frame that to think about it before you go to them.
That's so cool. I'm super curious, Stuart. You've done now your signature talk. You're working with your community. You're developing the principles. What is happening next? What is the future for Stuart Wedge?
I want to develop this further, and I want to get it in front of more people. So I'm going to be trying to speak at more events within my industry as well. But I'm also happy to go outside of my industry, and I want to expand on the SpeakerX talk and make that more impactful and a bit longer, but also have probably 10 minutes talks for each of the skills. And I can then go to businesses and say, they can say, right, I need an hour talk, and I can put together the friction talk, and then little bits from each of the different skills of the guide principles, or whatever I need to make it bespoke for different people and different groups, and actually deliver some training. And that would hopefully be to companies to help them with their maybe security teams or other teams that are having problems with friction. And if I can start getting the message out to people like that, then hopefully it'll make things work a bit better. People have more fun at work, have more engagement, and actually enjoy talking to the people that they're working with, rather than seeing them as combative, actually seeing them as partners on that journey. That's the goal.
Before we start rounding things off, I have this, like, oh, you must see it so much. But is there any top tip of today that you would give a fellow person, maybe working in the tech security industry, that you see they're like commonly, not mistake, but something that would significantly change their work or their way of working? What would that tip be, if you have any?
Be curious about the people that you work with, what they do, why it's important, and how your work relates to them. Because if you are curious, you're going to listen more. And when we listen more, we learn more and we understand more. And when we learn and understand, we can be compassionate and empathetic and actually put ourselves in the position of the other person and maybe build some sort of relationship with them to actually better than what it currently is. It might just be a collaborative relationship that would actually help you and them in your careers. So be open, be curious, and learn. That's all I would say, really.
I think that
sounds so easy, but it's so hard for so many.
It is, yeah, it is.
Because they have too much friction.
So I've been working on the Congredior Method for a year, and this is a learnings from 30 years of working with people as a bouncer, being the friction there, and being autistic. I've obviously had to think about all these different steps and go through each and every one of them to figure out why these things happen, why these work, why these specific patterns cause problems, why these specific patterns actually make things better. You can't just go at these things and hope they're going to work. You need to sit down and think about them and why they work. And that's what the Congredior Method is. And if you have that sort of training or understanding, you're going to be a bit more prepared when you do come across some sort of conflicts that you need to work with or work around. So it can be easier. We just need to actually practice and do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who would you want to see sitting there in the same seat that you're sitting right now in our virtual podcast studio? If you would have anyone, who would you want to listen to as a listener and audience?
I've got a whole bunch of people that I could list here.
Yeah.
But there was somebody recently who did a just mind-blowing public speaking event, and I'd love for you to try and get them on. That would be Alex Hormozi. And
Oh.
that is a really out there one.
Right. I have his phone number on my phone. I'll just give him a call right now. Like, hey, what's up, Alex? It's your other brother, Alex.
Yeah, we have it. I think we might have we have a better chance than most.
I think so, yeah. And the reason why I think he would be good is because he did his $100 million book launch, and he spoke for, I think, 7 hours on 3 days, and it was all scripted and planned, and he made over $100 million in 3 days just by doing public speaking and selling on the stage. And that's mind-blowing to me. Yeah. And I would really love to get some insights on that and his approach to public speaking.
Yep. We have a call for Alex Hormozi now. Alex Hormozi, paging the public speaking podcast. Well, like you said, because we do have a probably better opportunity than most. Hopefully, that will be, because I know that he likes somebody who we like very much and have been working with for the last 5 to 13 years. So I think we can let's see what happens. But thank you. Yeah, you know what? But I love that. I love the thing. You can always ask him, what is the worst thing that can happen? No, thank you, or no answer whatsoever. Right? That is the worst thing that can happen. So thank you so much for having that request. I like that. I like aim for the stars and then shoot across the universe. That's the thing. Lucas, any final thoughts?
Oh, I have a challenge in front of me. Let's do. I'll do an outreach a day and see where it takes us. That is, it's a fun new challenge. Thank you, Stuart. This has been a great discussion, and thank you for taking us through the Congredior Method. That's been really interesting. I love that you dropped the guide principles. That is something that I think listeners to this podcast can really take with them, can think about, and start looking into. And as always, if they want to learn more and want to talk to you, Stuart, maybe get you on their stage, talk to you, understand more about your systems, your approach, where can they find you?
The best place is LinkedIn. I'm all over the place. I've got several different websites for different things, but LinkedIn is probably the most common place for people to find me. I'm there every day, and that would be a good spot. Reach out to me there.
Great. So, there you have it. If you are interested in friction, want to solve friction in your company, want to fix this horrible thing that is apparent in almost any business, I would say every business needs this. And if you want to listen to more of what Stuart is doing, go to his LinkedIn, find out more. Thank you for listening to the Public Speaking Podcast. Alex is wanting to say something.
Yes, of course. Don't forget to watch Stuart's signature talk as well. Go into YouTube, search for, jump into our channel, look at Stuart's signature talk, and you will have more flesh to your bone as well to really. And then you can connect with the LinkedIn or the opposite, vice versa. It doesn't really matter. My call to you is connect with Stuart if you have friction, and I know you have it. Now back to you, Lucas. What is the final words that you had to say for this podcast?
I love you, Alex.
I love you too, guys.
And you make me laugh every single day.
This has been another beautiful episode. Thank you so much, Stuart, for coming into the virtual podcast studio here with Alexander Grabner-Jarling and Lucas Rogerstig. Signing off. See you next week. Arrivederci tutti. Bye.
Thank you very much.